All right, 5:47. First dates can be pretty nerve-wracking, right? Sometimes nervousness can actually cause us ladies to talk about things we should never bring up.
Oh yeah, know the feeling. Relationship expert Nancy Pina here to talk about conversation topics that really turn off men. And we've got Mike here for validation as well.
I'm a man.
All right, Nancy, so where do we start?
Sharing too much information, and that's a trap we all fall into at one time or another. Dating is a gradual process, and you need to establish mutual trust when you're together, and that's sharing information a little bit at a time, not putting out your whole life story in the first date, because you come away feeling a little bit exposed and kind of vulnerable, and he doesn't know how to process the information because you just met. So that's the first thing you need to stop doing. Also, do not talk about ex-boyfriends.
Oh.
You know, he thinks that you're not interested. You're really probably just not ready to date. When you probably are interested in him, but he opens the floodgates and all this information comes out and the date's over and you thought, well, she's not interested in me because she talked about this former boyfriend.
Right.
And anyone who, be negative and pessimistic on a first date. I mean, we all have bad days, but you want to come across positive and upbeat and happy to be on the date.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So I got a question for you, because my girlfriends and I always laugh about this. Anybody that goes on a date, we're like, the minute you talk about the weather, sorry, Mike, you know it's going south when you're like, hey, it's hot out, you know? Or in
Unless
the
you're
weather
both
nice?
meteorologists or something.
Or how about
Should we
those
mention
Texans and it's clearly not football season?
Yes,
Really not.
yes.
You can talk about what
If it's not football season.
It happens. Mike,
might
you would
like
be
it.
surprised. It happens. You know, you're sitting on a date and you're all of a sudden like, hey, like it's 78 degrees out. I mean, that would never come out of your mouth if you were having a good time.
Well, you can start talking about your passions in life, the activities you enjoy on a regular basis. I mean, just start ask questions about what he likes to do. You can just start getting the conversation going on that. Men like well-read, articulate women, and they like lively conversation. So if you have an opinion, express it and start a conversation that way. Do not hide your intelligence. There are other things you can talk about besides the weather.
Yeah, Mike's nodding his head yes. Would that ensure
everything that
second date?
Nancy is saying, I'm agreeing with. I'm thinking no negativity and no ex-boyfriend talk and no negativity about ex-boyfriend talk. Because if you're, and this goes for men and women, you know, if you're saying, my ex is such a psycho, my ex is blah, 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 blah,
Then you're scared they're going to come after you while you're having dinner.
Well, that too, you know, but
why?
then you're also like, what kind of person is this that they choose a lot of psychos to date? You know, and what does that say about me?
Wait, serious question though, Nancy. Should you put your long-term goals out on the table right away? The first time you meet the guy, I'm looking for marriage, I'm hoping to, you know, have
that's
kids.
a good question, Rita. That's a really
No.
good question.
No, you should not. The first date, it's not appropriate. You have to be able to establish that mutual trust, and that comes from allowing dating to be a gradual process. You don't know if he's, you know, a person you want to share this intimate information with in the first place. Even if you've talked and emailed and texted a whole lot before you met, you need to establish that in person, that mutual trust before you share these goals. It's just at the appropriate time or place, even if you have that goal.
Okay, good to know. All right, so if you follow your rules, you'll get a second call back,
There you
ladies
go.
and gentlemen. You know, thanks, Mike, for that insight too.
Thanks, guys.
Sure.
Coming up.